All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 5, Episode 37. All right, guys, we have a fight in the middle of everything right now.
Yep.
Trish is in a dicey situation as her father just punched both of them at the same time through Mista's body in order to send them flying in a specific way in which she could not resist and retrieve the arrowhead. Now, this is just the biggest mess we're in right now.
Yeah, the fact that the last episode was all just meticulous, all right, okay, what little bits of movement and things like that. I have no idea what we're supposed to expect from this episode. Is he going to get the stand arrow? I don't know. Maybe something else crazy is going to happen.
He has it. He has it.
Oh,
that's the point of what happened at the end of last episode, where we're in a situation where, okay, cool, well, crap. How much damage did that do? Was there any, soul swapping that happened? Because at that point where Bucciarati freaks out and stuff, we see Trish's form next to her stand. So that punch could have been near deadly. Now, it didn't kill him. So
there is that. There is that.
In some ways, she might think about that and learn oh wait, I have you at my mercy because I have this body. Sorry, Mista,
oh man. Yeah, and the arrow is in the shape that it needs to be for Giorno to stab himself with it, but
true from the
things don't look quite dire enough for that, because it really did seem to be that last Hail Mary kind of when everything else had been just completely turned upside down. So
none of them have necessarily any way to insta win here, because they kind of need to be able to win that quickly, otherwise he'll just avoid it. And so there's that problem.
And what does that even mean for King Crimson to get upgraded from what it already is?
Yeah, that's the thing. If he gets upgraded at all, this is a problem. Hopefully it's more of a thing of where he's already been upgraded. That's why he's so freaking strong.
No, sorry, it doesn't do anything. You're too good already. Power ceiling.
Right, exactly. Or it's more of a thing of where something that he does in the upgrade will make him more of a chaotic thing like Silver Chariot Requiem was. So it's a thing of where maybe he'll go wait a minute, this might not be a good idea. Or, it's something where he's just really freaked out that if one of them got it, then it would be a problem. So then he just gets away. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Not at all angry before now.
Yeah.
That's right. He hit Spice Girl and Kakyoander.
Well,
or at least it looked like he did.
It wasn't that strong. Oh. Yeah. It knocked her out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is not too irreversible with regards to Giorno being there, for them.
Yeah. Theoretically, things can all turn out okay. But the fact that Narancia's dead, I feel like Araki's basically said,
everyone's on the table here.
Yeah, everyone's on the table, because death.
This DM is dropping big dice
exactly.
here. Yeah.
Because
all the sound effects.
Yeah.
Whoa. Nice. Whoa. Kakekesu rage, akunami no suoku to chikata hikara. Sort of defy God's diabolical plan. That's so awesome. Wa ikakata so sutete idomo no stay gold. So sa me ni wa me no yurayu no ni wa requiemo. Wow. Nothing personal, kid. It's literally the teleports behind you.
Oh yeah, But he looks scared there, seeing that stuff.
And I think it's just him, just seeing it now, because,
Setsubo Gatamaneku Sekai ni tachimukau Don't care Jihi nado iranai sa Hareda horobiru toki Nori mo ke hateru Hell no Hajimari no golden wind. Oh, with all the sound effects, that was just so good. Yeah, David really knows their stuff.
Oh man, King of Kings. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. It's Crimson King. Oh my God!
Yeah.
She was Kekyoing!
And that's how. Wait, hold on.
Oh crap! Oh, here we go.
Okay. What? Huh? Wait.
Whoa.
Because he, Kakyo and... Wait, so is he going away now because...
Oh shoot, what's all this? Oh! It's Silverchair Requiem. Everything's switching now.
Wow.
Because you defeated Silverchair Requiem. Oh, dang, what a line! Oh, you did it! Bujarati double tapped him!
Oh, nice! And you so kindly told us.
Oh! Oh no!
Yeah,
this is you!
This is you! Yeah!
Oh! The King of Kings is Bujarati!
Okay.
Oh my god!
So does that mean that Mista's gonna die? Or wait. Or...
But now he's gonna go back to his body. Yeah. Which has passed away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. A golden wind.
Yeah.
Giorno.
Yeah. Yeah. When I met you in the beginning. Oh, this is good. This is really good.
Wow.
You blew a golden wind in and brought me back to life. You gave me that
more ways
vitalization. Yeah. Well, that's a good way to die then.
All right.
Yeah. Oh. Kono Diavolo da. Problem is that I don't think Bujarati was able to do anything to his body before he did that. Oh, Mista's in denial. Wow.
That's a shot.
Yeah.
That's a shot.
Oh, this is beautiful. Oh.
Yep. And amidst all the clouds and everything, that's when Giorno picks up the arrow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Oh, no way.
All right.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. But...
Oh, even the dog is just like, oh. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, you know what that was? Those are both the person at the same time. the dog was like overwhelmed with like an urge to like hug, you know, yeah. So what's gonna happen to Polnareff? Oh.
我がキングクリムゾンを無敵の頂点に選んだはずなのだ。俺は兵士ではない。くそー！その俺に対して。
This is a really good shot, just that we get to see him like, oh! And King Crimson right there, you know?
嫌から身を隠し、反撃の時期を待つ。ここで一時引くのは敗北ではない。俺は頂点に返り咲ける能力がある。逃がさないで、ジョルノ。あいつを感じたの。
Okay, so
今、あいつが一歩引いたの。
Oh, let's see how his eyes are all
not
like,
dead. Okay.
Yeah. Ah, do it!
Okay, come on! Alright!
The music is so grand! Oh, this is it. This is why he's gonna lose. His pride. But there's 2 episodes after this!
I know! Like, and Giorno still hasn't stabbed. Alright!
Oh,
okay!
Oh!
Alright! Whoa, wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a vision. That was through epitaph. Crap!
Wait, can he erase the time that Giorno would have used to stab Gold Experience with the stand arrow?
No. It's a question of whether or not that's happened yet.
What? Of course he's gloating.
Yeah. And now his eyes are back together. Oh no!
Wait.
Oh my god. Oh, wait. Wait. Whoa. So, oh, he's actually doing a rush! Whoa! Oh, it shed the armor.
Yeah,
What? But wait, look above you.
Yeah. Rise above.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh
yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Gold Experience Requiem.
Okay. So
what is it?
What? Lasers? Are you kidding? No way.
Did he just lose the requirement to have to touch things?
I think so.
It's just everything now. If he thinks it, it now can be used with his stand. No, this is something else. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Gotcha. So he can predict the moves. Okay. So we've got to fight now. Wait. But it was so fast he couldn't see it. Dude. We could. So what happens? What happens next? Yeah, okay. Here we are. All right. Let's do this. Dude, like, jeez! Wait. Wait a minute. Why is that moving in here? No way. Can he, like, turn back time? Yeah, because this is the thing we've never seen. There's been all these time manipulation things. Time loops, which are a form of turning back time. Stopping time, jumping past time, right? But never just, like, rewinding things. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wait. All of life itself. Wait. Hold on. How long can he rewind, though? Are we gonna get some of our boys back? The vision hasn't changed, though. That's interesting. What? Is he lagging? Oh my god! What is happening? Yeah, he's lagging! Oh my god! And the stand is doing the talking here! Wow. What? Wow. That is insane. What? That is absolutely stupid. What? That is ridiculous. Alright. We're even going all the way back here? Yeah. Are we gonna get our boys back? Dude, I don't know now. Yeah! Wow. Oh, and the stand episode there. Yeah. Giorno. Yeah. Holy shit. We've got 2 episodes after that. After that. Wow. So basically they neutralize each other, or even worse. No, like he got completely overwritten, and then it's like, now let's just have a proper stand battle, Yeah. But the question is, can it be used offensively? Like, is there any way that ability could be used offensively? I think just that you can keep rewinding what they're doing until they mess up, and then you beat them. So this is going to be a constant game of them, like, trying to basically... Right, because... That's insane. Yeah, because this is the issue, is that Gold Experience Requiem couldn't do any damage to Diablo and King Crimson in the space, just like he couldn't either. Right. So they both have to keep, like, skip and then rewind, skip and then rewind, and then keep, like... So it's really just going to be a whose stand can basically outlast the other.
Well, and since Gold Experience Requiem can function regardless of Giorno's like decision making,
that's true.
There's no way Diablo can beat it.
None.
Because it's a stand. It'll just keep doing its thing, you know?
Right.
Like,
right. I mean, he could damage Giorno theoretically, and if Giorno was dead,
theoretically,
then,
but like,
yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Sweet. Star. Gold Experience Requiem. Yeah. I love how they just add the Requiem to the end of the names. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Gold Experience Requiem.
Yeah.
This is a stand fight now.
No, I don't know if it even is though. This is a stand execution.
How does it get used offensively? And how does King Crimson and Diablo even fight?
Well, apparently range isn't an issue anymore, which kind of screws over Diablo because oh my god. Like now granted, one of the things that is a good point that was brought up is that it just because it could turn back time, we didn't get Bucciolati back. It didn't go back that far, right?
Right. It's a limited capacity in terms of it being something that can reverse a few seconds.
Exactly. Which is still all you really need if you can if that's automatically just happening whenever it's needed,
right?
Because the big thing that I would think is that if it was something that Giorno had to actively do himself, then that would be a really good limitation, and then because you can always get surprise attacked, and then that'd be a really good cat and mouse on both sides dynamic with Diablo because they'd have to who strikes first kind of thing. But
one of the things that I've never really thought about, but it makes perfect sense also why King Crimson and Diablo are going to horrendously lose is they literally brought this up in the previous episode about the idea of fear. Fear is something that resides in the past. It is a past focused mentality, and King Crimson is literally about skipping and overriding in some ways the effect of the fear so that he can plunge forward into the future. However, if time is moving backwards, what you gonna skip?
Yeah.
What you gonna skip? You can't skip shit. You're going the other way. So you're gonna skip closer to your fear? This is so perfectly antithetical to Diablo's whole modus operandi as a character.
Yep.
Oh my god!
This is like someone who's when there's the little treadmill things on at the airport where it's you just get on and then it carries you. Diablo's the person who still walks on those, right? And it's okay, cool, so he can go faster or something. But no, now it's going the other way. What
are you doing?
What are you doing?
Get off the belt, dude.
Except wait, no, you can't because that's the thing with time stuff. It's reality itself. You can't avoid it. It always gets you.
Well, that's the reason why I have to wonder, is there actually a fight that's coming here? Because one, King Crimson can go after the friends.
That's true.
So this is going to be a potential thing where Giorno will have to keep undoing the actions of the next few seconds. And in order to do that, he needs to stay close. So right now, we might just be seeing the beginning of the end, but it actually takes a good few minutes for King Crimson and Diablo to be defeated.
Because there are 2 episodes left, and as awesome as Gold Experience Requiem is, also, I find it kind of funny that Silver Chariot Requiem was the one before this, and now we get Gold Experience Requiem, Silver to Gold. I don't know. It's just
so the next one has to be Star Platinum Requiem because I'm just saying. We go from silver to gold to platinum.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. But
or Crazy Diamond Requiem.
Okay. Damn. Wait. Hold on. How did I not realize this?
They've been setting us up.
Was just where's the bronze? No, bronze. Who cares about bronze? Okay.
Bronze was Iggy.
But okay, this is still a crazy fight that can happen. Now, the fact that okay. I love that Gold Experience Requiem shoots a laser of healing because that also damages stuff.
It was just life energy.
Yeah, right.
It pierced his hand. That didn't heal him.
Right. Yes, but then it created life with the scorpions and things like that. Because Dio, at the very beginning of JoJo's, He got lasers.
Yes, that's true.
He got lasers.
Rocky's like, I didn't forget. I was saving them.
I may have forgotten, but I remembered. This is a requiem for the lasers that Dio lost along the way. But then it's something where, you know, so it.
It's so good. Okay. But like, let's bring everything back to the beginning here. Mm-hmm. So Giorno has to say goodbye to Bucciarati.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's so good about this is that we kind of predicted that this would happen. Mm-hmm. Like, essentially that once Bruno got into the body of the boss, then, well...
Once he goes back, if he goes back.
If he ever goes back, it's over. Yep. But if he can determine then, like he did here, the timing of it, and have it be at a specific moment when he's not going to be able to stop Giorno from piercing him with the stand arrow. Like, this worked out. This worked out wonderfully. And I love that, even though it's the, you know, let's have our time kind of get, you know, extended a little bit, basically, to allow for a really heartfelt and wonderful moment.
Twice.
Yeah. It was something that also worked because of the fact that when the, you know, souls are being swapped back, and during that time there's everyone's affected by it. Literally no one can do anything but watch.
Can I just say that means that also, sadly, well, Polnareff's gone too.
Well, yeah, something.
We don't get Tortoise Polnareff for the next 15 parts.
Yeah,
like
something tells me though that if Araki wanted to, he'd just be like, well, sure, but it's too late because this, you know, this turtle achieved some level of sentience, and
but
I don't know. We'll see.
That means now Polnareff can be with Iki and Abdul and
if they want to have a moment for that, then. Yeah,
Araki totally doesn't need to. It totally makes sense that you don't focus on that because Polnareff was from previous part.
He was left behind man.
So he's not.
He's a turtle.
Oh man.
So there's that. But I just love that we got our requiem for Bruno.
Yeah, that was great. That was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, of all the members of the crew that like we had in some ways, like.
Arrivederci.
Yeah, he was the one that I felt like had to die the most of all of them because he's you know, the leader, he's the mentor, he's the mom. Yeah, exactly. He's all the things that these boys needed in order to be able to help them and to bring them into life. And yet at his final moments he chooses to tell Giorno, thank you. You brought me to life. And we're thinking, yeah, because of what happened where you nearly died. No, you did die. And he's like, that's not what I'm talking about. He's like, I was living a quiet life of desperation. You know, I was slowly dying. My heart was about to give out. I didn't have any more reasons to fight back and rebel against this and, you know, go after my dream. And then this 15-year-old blonde, you know, Joe Bro shows up with a dream
that tastes like a liar.
Don't do that. I'm still salty right now. Like, I just love that it was something that, as far as final words, you know, go for all the characters that have died thus far in the new Joe Bro squad.
Naranjo sure as hell didn't get any.
Yeah, this was perfect. This was actually just perfect. I could not have seen that coming. And yet, looking back, there are a lot of moments where you realize that Bucciarati is kind of like happy to have someone else that can lead this with him. Like, do you ever get the vibe sometimes that there's these characters in stories where they're leading? I think there's actually a couple that in stories that we've been doing recently where they're leading and they just wish someone else would do it. They're just hey, could someone else just please do this for me? And yet his wasn't that. This guy bore the whole thing. Like, he carried the whole group so far.
Yeah.
Like, think back to the fact that when they got on the boat, like, that was him.
Yeah.
Like, obviously Giorno was going to go with him and stuff as well, but like, He's basically saying, I wouldn't have been the person to get on the boat if it wasn't for you.
And that's one of the things that I really like that's sort of being brought up here, because one of the things that's sort of always been in the back of my mind with this part is that this is all a bunch of people that found each other in very unlikely circumstances, right? And were able to find a place of belonging, a home, a family, all of this good stuff, right? In the most unlikely of places, not just with the most unlikely of people, but in the most unlikely of places of being in the mob, right?
Yeah.
And the idea of them being in the mob, especially because I understand all the rest of them coming into it when there's Bruno. Right. Because Bruno ropes them all in, and it's great. He's the mom. He's the glue that keeps them together. Right.
Yeah.
But with Bruno specifically, with the kind of person that he is, it just seemed always a little off to me. Right. Where was his anchor? Right. That sort of kept him there, because that's a lot to do on your own. And maybe that was one of the reasons why he brought people in. But then this being brought up here of, no, Giorno, even after bringing all them in, I needed somebody else alongside me. And you helped bring me back to life. That it was perfect. It was one of those things that it didn't have to be in there, right? And yet it did. Yeah. Like once Bruno says it, it's like
you go back and absolutely. You go, oh my God, the whole time basically this guy, he had fallen in line and maybe become. They mentioned the whole Soldiers of Fate thing. Maybe in some ways he kind of thought that was maybe a bit too haughty. That was a bit too unworthy of him. And he just was like, let's just remove the fate part and I'm just a soldier now. I'm just following orders. I'm just doing, what I have to make things just a little bit better.
Yeah.
It feels like the vigilante that gave up before they started,
Sure.
Basically was like, I assembled everything I needed in order to do my unique form of justice upon this area.
Right.
And yet, it's too much. It's too much. It's gonna, maybe I wish we would have gotten more to find out, maybe he had a moment where he realized, I love this family. I love these boys. There's no way I want to actually threaten or ruin this. And they don't know, that this is my plan. So I don't know if they're gonna there's some really cool questions you could go into this if we wanted to. I am you brought it up, but if they do any kind of ultimate mass resurrection, any kind of anything like that, because Gold Experience Requiem has become a god stand,
right? I don't. I would feel many things about that.
Yeah,
there would be parts of me that would be sad that they got brought back. That would be happy that they got brought back.
Exactly.
But
so we'll hold out for now and just wait to see what happens. But sorry, go ahead.
Bruno's introduction, that still happened, right? It's easy to forget and whatnot and be like, JoJo's style and everything. Here we go. We're moving on in this great way.
Sure,
but that was where Bruno was at when Giorno met him.
Yeah.
So and if anything, I would love to have seen maybe some of the observations of the other people in Bruno's crew after Giorno comes along, and not of Giorno, this new guy, but maybe of the ways that Bruno changed as a result of Giorno a bit.
Well, that definitely happened, I think, from Abbacchio. Abbacchio was the one that maybe, if anything, had the foresight, not the foresight.
Because he was the dad of the group.
Yeah, he was the one that is, in some ways, I kind of saw him more of the really, really sweethearted, what's the police dog?
K9?
No, well, K9 is usually the division with regards to dogs, but the German Shepherd. He's basically a German Shepherd that the whole family just loves and adores.
Sure,
but hey,
right? But I
haven't sniffed you out and given you the pass here.
Yep.
And it fits well because he was a cop as well,
right?
But. Oh my God! So of a way to send off a character with a requiem.
Yep.
It's not lost on us, Araki. The golden wind and everything. That was really good.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the equivalent of a character that could have been a Joseph Joestar if we had another part with him.
Yep.
And yet we just had to cut it short because he chose the life of a rebel, of a soldier of fate, if you will.
Yeah. Fugo was right.
Yep.
Y'all are going to end up dead. you know?
But maybe it's worth it, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's so worth it.
Maybe it's worth it for the dream, right?
And I gotta say, I'm so glad that Mista isn't dead because I thought when I was like, oh shit, Spice Girl got Kakyo, which would Kakyo and Trish, but if Trish was in Mista's body, would it do the same thing to Mista's body? And then when he came back, would he, you know?
Right.
But thankfully that didn't happen. So because
we've still got a party.
We've still got, you know, one of the original crew at the very least.
Yeah, but you know, things went also. I found this to be kind of an interesting thing. I'm always looking out for the number 4 with regards to you know, Mista and such. And when there was only 4 members of the party left, that's when Bruno went.
Wow.
But I will say, if that's the case, then that if you want to see it as this, the number of people in the encounter when it went to 4 for Diavolo and King Crimson.
That was bad luck for him.
That was bad luck for him because he was the 4th man out, you know. Like, we're a party of 3 now.
Yeah. We've got good luck. But
we've got good luck, but you, no. It's all ogre for you now.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. And when there were 4 of them, the only way that they could stop Diavolo is taking their party of 4 down to a party of 3.
Yeah, I know. Because it's still hitting me because I really am now realizing how much, like, we missed out on Bucciarati because of him also dying back then.
Yep.
If he had been, you know, fully alive he was alive, but he, you know, also wasn't.
It's very complicated.
We would have gotten probably more of his actual character able to come out because, you know, he would have been fully present. But anyway, y'all, we went from like emotional, just victory and loss to absolute balls to the wall, crazy display of raw JoJo's.
Absolute insanity.
So Giorno's stand was not only stabbed with the arrow,
it absorbed the arrow a la Killer Queen.
Yes, exactly. So what I think they're doing here, and I'm going to go into what I think their world building setup here.
Okay.
Is that it's one thing to stab a person,
right,
and give them a stand,
and
basically.
It's another to stab the stand, which they covered,
right. But I think that's the difference, though. Here is we've only actually seen, probably if we use Killer Queen as an example, there 3 times where this has happened. 2 were here, but there was a unique difference here, and that was that when Silver Chariot Requiem, or Silver Chariot became a Requiem stand, basically. When that happened, the arrow didn't fuse.
Oh, yeah. It looked, if I remember correctly, it looked more like it was like an imprint.
Exactly. So they've brought up fate a couple times here. I think that the will of the arrow, if you will, the fate of it, or the desire of it, it's got a one ring kind of element in that the arrows have some energy that isn't of themselves, like stands, and stands are souls. So you can see where there could be some will involved there, in that's where we did get a rampant Requiem stand.
Right, because it's the arrow isn't actually bonded with the thing, so that's why it's still separate, and you had to carry the arrow around and whatnot. And
then use the exact word I was wanting to say. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whereas in the case of, say, Killer Queen and Gold Experience, it chose them, so then it went into them completely, and then there you go.
Separate.
Oh.
Yeah, so King Crimson and Diavolo and Doppio by extension, you know, rest in peace. They, in some ways, were that picture of what will be the next kind of stage of evolution for stands. Okay. But I have to go back and check things with part 4, but we never saw that arrow again.
Did it fall out of
That's my
Killer
question.
Queen when...
That's my question. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I don't remember it. Personally, I have no memory of there being any stand arrow recovery or what have you.
If that is the case, it would be very interesting because then there was a limited number of arrows, which would mean that essentially once that happens, there is a limited number of them in the world.
Exactly.
And so this can only happen so many times.
Exactly.
We can keep it fresh because it's not just going to happen for forever.
Over and over.
Everybody's got a Requiem stand.
You have a Titan,
Yeah, exactly.
So what I think they're setting up here, and again, this is a theory based on my limited memory of how part 4 ended, that we're basically going to end up with situations where there will be more Requiem stands. Sorry, guys. And the limitation within it is that it has to be a proper bonded through fate, the desire of the arrow and the desire of the wielder merging in a perfect unity. Then and only then can we have this kind of crazy power up of sorts be something that's warranted.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's something that's rather exciting to think about when you see this kind of insane like break through the power ceiling completely and just go beyond anything we've seen thus far. Now, to be fair, I would say that the stands are getting a little bit more janky with regards to how they use their power, so they're not just blatantly overpowered. But
right. Yes.
But this one this one here, who knows what the limitations of it are.
It breaks a few rules. One, and maybe I'm just harping on this too much, but the laser, that range is an important thing. Araki has understood this throughout the entirety of the stands with JoJo's, right? Range...
it creates very interesting limitations with regards to the fights. And it's a very smart way to simply handle it.
Because then maneuvering actually matters. The reason why people don't use snipers for anything meaningful in stories is because you just have someone a mile away, they pull a trigger, and that's it, right?
It works in some anime.
It works in some anime, right? But generally you don't want to do that because there's no maneuvering that has to happen on either part, right?
Right.
Other than getting in position or something.
I mean, Mista's Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols
was
that
pretty
right. But even then, because it's like a handgun and something, it's still something where you're kind of close, right?
Right.
So if
what you're saying is that Diablo is boned.
Diablo's boned because
even if it comes down to a thing where neither of their super god abilities work, he can just, Gates of Babylon him over
exactly.
and over
Gates
again.
of Babylon, and it's stupid to try and fight against. Like, it's that whole reason why when Dio fought Jotaro, Dio couldn't still have his lasers because it had to be the thing of, how do I get close to him since he has this limited amount of, acting during time.
He was a stand user at the time. He doesn't care about vampire abilities.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely reasons for it, but...
Right. So let's say in this specific thing here, I think you're right in that the next episode will probably just be the end of Diablo.
Right.
It's just a question of really how long is it going to take,
because he could
within that episode
survive a while with his stand ability.
He can still predict the future, but this is the part that's weird, was that they made a lot of focus in that he's like, what the hell? If this future is something I've seen, it must come to pass. It hasn't come to pass yet.
Right.
So, is this part of the nature of that when that time that he was going to predict, was seen, it didn't happen yet? So it's not that it can't happen. It's that when Gold Experience Requiem rewound things and he started time lagging, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine how awesome that must have looked in the manga. Like,
I just loved it. Nani? That was so good. But the idea that was probably the act of both forces, both powers of the stand pushing against each other. So he's trying to move forward, and
that was the energy blast, but Giorno's being stronger because he was still lagging backward.
Yeah, exactly. So Giorno's was winning, but then the prediction was something that was 10 seconds ahead based on the time at which he made the prediction. So when he went back, the prediction is still there.
Yeah.
But it's still in the future.
We can get our answer finally to the Oingo Boingo question of how immutable is the future, right? Because if you think about it, if he sees something where on this current time stream or whatever that they're on, this is going to happen. Giorno's going to be defeated, but then suddenly time gets rewound back further. Since you've seen that future, but then we're going back in the past and different decisions are going to be being made, and theoretically you could do that any number of times.
That's my
does that
prediction
mean
here.
then that future becomes invalid? Like, is there going to come some point where
it just can't come to pass anytime near now? It just gets further and further away. No, that's my next theory. So guys, this is how it can be used offensively. Remember, I did this to you, but remember when you'd be like, I'm charging at you and I'm a little brother, and I just put my hand on your forehead and just be like, what are you doing? You just Well, the thing is, what you'd never do is you never push them, you just kind of let them lean into you, and then you just kind of hold there. But what if you were strong enough to just keep pushing back?
Well, okay, that's one of the
basically what's going to happen.
So that's one of the other issues that comes into play with time muckery, because like in the same way that Dio could only stop time for like a few seconds, but like time stop, whatever, it works, right?
It works.
But if you can rewind time, let's say you can rewind time 10 seconds, right? What's to stop you from rewinding time 10 seconds and then rewinding time another 10 seconds?
3 seconds pass.
Yeah, you rewind another 10 seconds, you gain 7 seconds. It's the wishing for more wishes. It
really is the wishing for more wishes, actually.
It's the, if I could look 2 minutes into the future, what would I see? Well, what if I looked into the future of what I would see if I looked into the future 2 minutes from now? It's right. It kind of
This is so much stronger of an ability than what King Crimson has.
That's why any time muckery is just
well, right. But this is also something that's quite just terrifying to think of, is that King Crimson hadn't been, requiemed yet.
Yeah, I know. What would King Crimson Requiem
What would King Crimson Requiem have been? Because he couldn't.
Yeah, no, that would be absolutely silly. But okay, now we've covered, I think, let's go over them real quick. Have we covered all of the different dimensions of time muckery? So we've got stopping time.
No, not even close. Not even close, dude. Dude. No. Okay, no, so my favorite one hasn't even been touched upon yet.
What's that?
What? Having perfect actualization in all times and space. Dude,
Wait.
if multiverse theory is right, we haven't even come close to time muckery on the actual scale. Okay,
that is
because you're still operating in 4 dimensions, dude.
Right. You need to go to 26 dimensions.
You need to think. You must open your mind,
embrace eternity.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, but that's like time and space stuff.
No, but time is greater than space. So
okay,
it's more fundamental. Let's say.
Sure. Yeah, but if you stay within one reality, right? Like what?
Why do that? That's boring.
I know. Okay, but until we get to the point where JoJo's goes beyond a single reality.
Well, they're already doing that. If you have the ability to reverse time, you're already creating multiple, timelines, universes, and stuff.
Or is it just manipulating the reality you're in?
But Jacob, he's seeing a future.
Right,
and it's going to happen.
So his player's broken.
No. Yeah, exactly. But it's more of a thing of where it is happening, but you're not experiencing.
Like he's got a TV, and it's like, yep, you're good, but you unplugged the TV, and it just sort of froze on what you're seeing. So but we covered we have now covered rewinding, rewind time, everybody. We've encountered skipping.
We've encountered stopping.
We've encountered stopping, and we've encountered looping, which is a form of rewinding, but it's
right.
Yeah. So
are you thinking that in terms of the simpler types of time manipulation,
without going into multiverse stuff,
and we have future sight as well,
yes, that's right. What else can we do? Like Araki, there are how many more parts after this?
Dude,
you know,
like, trust me. Don't like try to put limitations on a rock.
No. I'm just curious to see how he'll beat this challenge because he really keeps making it harder for himself. like,
dude, I could come up with some. Just give me like 5 minutes and a white, a whiteboard.
I'm really curious to see what you come up with because
yeah, I'll have it in the next episode's reaction.
But okay, we've got 2 episodes left, which means that Diavolo can still give Giorno a run for his money. If there was another stand arrow around, I would say, right, there isn't. But then I'd be like, yeah, let's get Diavolo Requiem and have them both fight each other because why not escalate it even further? The world just ends. Yeah, exactly. But all right, this episode, man.
So how do you think he's going to be defeated? Because what I want is not what's going to happen.
Okay, what do you want?
What I want specifically is basically just the equivalent of just a deep muda. Just absolutely pulverize him
repeatedly.
Yeah, exactly. But not to kill him. To leave him there broken and defeated, but he's alive. Then he basically it's like, Trish, there you go. And just walks away like a badass. And then Trish basically just gets to look at him, and it's just this disappointed, just sad kind of thing. This is still her father, but it's like, no, you bastard. And then she's like, Mista, give it to me.
Yeah.
She gives him the revolver. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Just
loads the full mag in there.
Yeah. But it's like she shoots 4 times, and he's like, hey, and he pop one more time, and he's like, thank you. And then that's how it ends. Like that's what I want. That's too perfect for it to actually go that way.
Okay.
If anything, I want it to be a thing where King Crimson and Diavolo dig deep together, figure out some really clever way of utilizing their stand. Make Giorno have to think a little bit, and then he's just like, no, and then just kind of flexes his wrist a little bit, and it's over, and it's over completely because his stand is so busted now.
That's okay. Yeah. So I keep thinking Diavolo can use King Crimson to some pretty effective ways to get some, survive a little bit longer. But no, he can't, because Giorno doesn't need to think about using his stand, and his stand literally just makes his stand not work.
Right. That's why I want it to be a thing where it's less about him then trying to skip time, but it's about him trying to be able to predict what Giorno and Gold Experience Requiem will do. And then it doesn't matter because he's looking into the future and Giorno is beating him in the past.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I want to happen. Right. Basically, that will probably take 3 or 4 minutes to explain because it's not going to be the fight. It's going to be us visually and audio-wise seeing or experiencing. It will be a gold experience. That's all I'm going to say.
So in the 4th Harry Potter book, there's a point when they're watching a Quidditch game and they get these really fancy binoculars. And the binoculars can do all kinds of things, zoom and whatnot and things like that, but they can also put things into slow motion. And Harry, because he was not put into Ravenclaw for a reason, ends up being confused of why the announcer is saying different things than what he's saying because, well, duh, it's moving faster than you can watch it.
Right.
This is the reverse of that. And Diavolo can't reset it to present time.
Right. Here's a Cars way that it could go as well. I always love just trying to imagine how can we one-up Cars' defeat? Because Cars' defeat is the best defeat of all the...
Diavolo gets Yuki Nagato, and he just stops thinking eventually. He's like, this is... drool.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I have to respect Ambulance Chan's efforts in Part 4.
That was impressive.
That was a really good way to have
that was a real team move there.
Yeah, but in terms of epic... ways, Cars being sent into space and stop thinking, that's wonderful. But here's what we could do is he just punches Diavolo and King Crimson into the past and he doesn't stop going. He literally arrives at the Big Bang and the origin of the universe, and he sees it and he's like, beautiful, and he's like, wait, I'm in this space, and he's still moving, and then suddenly poof, and that creates the origins.
He's trying to skip past the time, but it's not enough.
But that's what creates the origins of the alien species that creates the stand arrows.
Oh my god. No. So, okay. Okay.
But in terms of the most grandiose, over the top way to go, and just like, you know, it's all over for you, and then and then he just goes to the past continuously all the way until the beginning of time.
So the one way where I could see there being something actually kind of complicated is if Diavolo traps himself in some sort of time loop because of jumping forward and rewinding forever. But other than that, Giorno doesn't actually want to use his stand ability too much because...
Wait, why?
Well, because if it's not countering Diavolo or whatever, then it affects everybody. So you don't want to keep rewinding time for the whole universe or whatever just to, like, screw with Diavolo. Like,
does it?
I mean, does it? The universe wouldn't be aware of it, I suppose. So we could do that for, forever and then whatever. But
I would say, if anything, that might be a limitation. Is that his thing is really localized. His power is not something where all of time.
But it's time. Like if you don't have that, then you have the binocular problem.
Yeah,
where
I got
one
you.
time thing is separate from the other. Like the whole universe would actually start exploding at that point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like,
yeah.
This part of time is rewinding. The rest of the planet that's moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour around the sun, keeps going.
Okay, I know. It was dumb, but I don't know.
But yeah,
JoJo's, man. Y'all, thank you so much, though, for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. You can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yes, I wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. If you're interested, it's on Amazon. Link in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.